Hello friend, it's Chrissy. Welcome to or back to my channel. And this is the first week of my work with the Carnival at the End of the World Tarot. I decided to put several videos and sped up videos together. So this may feel choppy in its presentation, but it is what it is. I love this deck. You'll see plenty of it in this video, but it is a little bit too big for my hands. So I have been shuffling this deck a lot, just sitting around watching TV, trying to break it in and make it a little more shuffleable. I draw 3 cards a day. You'll see a video about that later. 1 from my deck, 2 from the Carnival at the End of the World, and I'm also working on getting the deck scented with rosemary and lemongrass. Hello friends, so September's deck for me is the Carnival at the End of the World. I'm trying really hard to put the Tarot with the Drowning World on sabbatical. We'll see how that goes. So I have been working with this deck. I started working with this deck toward the end of August. I shuffled it a lot. I've done a lot of work to try to soften it up, and part of my bonding with this deck has been infusing some oil in it, and I've been working with the snap oil. It is lemongrass and rosemary. I wrote in the back here, rosemary helps with the uninterrupted flow of energy, devotion to self, trusting the inner voice. Lemongrass helps with centeredness and focus. It's an energetic cleanser and it helps move us forward. So as in the last few evenings, as I shuffle the deck, I just roll it a little bit in the palms of my hands first. This blend is primarily essential oil with just a little bit of coconut oil. So I rub it in between my palms. I rub it over. I'm actually going to go ahead and do that now. There's no reason why not to. It's so fresh, but also grounding. I love the smell of rosemary. So I bring it on my hands. I just rub it over the edges of the cards. And then I shuffle for a while. I think it's just a smidge too long for me. I've learned something important shuffling this deck. I have just a little bit less grip with my right hand than my left. So if they are at all unbalanced, even a card or two, if the bigger stack, even here, if the bigger stack is in my left hand, it's absolutely fine. But if the bigger stack is in my right hand, I really struggle to get that grip. So I realize I'm making a lot out of this, but I haven't noticed that before with any deck. And the way that I think about energy is the left side. See, there was 1 card too many in my right hand and it fell out. I don't drop cards from the left side, and I haven't noticed that in any other deck that I've shuffled. And I think the Pagan Otherworlds is the same size, and I don't have that issue with that deck. Anyway, the left side to me is where we hold our history, our personal history, our energetic history, our ancestral history lives in the left side of our bodies. What we need to process is on the left, and then presence is on the right. So the right now lives on the right side of the body. So I see this deck for me because it likes to be held more in my left hand. I feel is just a reminder that the work that we have to do together is not just about my present, but also processing my past. yeah, that's what that means. That's how I am interpreting that little bit of information that I've gleaned from this deck as I've shuffled. So today we're going to do a super quick introductory spread. This is a 3-card spread that I have in my Narrative Alchemy guidebook, and to be honest, I don't know where I saw it. I'm sure it didn't come from me. I've used this spread in some variation or other for years. I used to have a big, like, 6-card introductory spread that I used to use, an interview spread, and that just felt too much, because I think of my relationship with a deck of cards kind of like I do. I feel like cards, ooh, that was aggressive. I feel like cards are like therapy light. And one of the things that I found is that sometimes we come to therapy saying, okay, this is what I want to work on. And then as we get to know each other, something else becomes more present or more important. And, you know, sometimes the issue that we on the being helped side, we gain clarity on what the issue actually is once we start to receive some help, some insight from the other, from the external, from the helper. So I really like this 3-card spread as a deck interview because it leaves a lot of room for growth. So in the spread, we have 3 cards. The first card is how the deck sees itself. The second card is how the deck sees me. And the third card is the work that we will do together. And because this is an interview spread for the deck, I'm not bringing any of my own interpretation. I'm bringing as little interpretation as I can into that. We're going to be using the guidebook for our interpretation today. So, how the deck views itself. By the way, if there is a 5 of Cups in here, I'm gonna yell because I've drawn the 5 of Cups the 1st, the 2nd, and the 3rd of September. So, how the deck sees itself, we have the Page of Swords. So what we see here visually, we see the big giant green ear, which green to me is 2 things. It's heart chakra in the chakra system, but it's also the pinnacle, the suit of pentacles in the tarot. So I'm bringing in like this listening, the sword here almost being like an additional, like a radio tower, like part of an antenna. The other hand here is held really close to the body. And then we have 2 prairie dogs, maybe lemurs, that are also listening to the radio signal. And what I think is interesting, and you may have seen, I almost like went to zoom in, there's this little piece of land over here by itself. And I'm going to sit with what that can mean. But how the deck views itself is the Page of Swords. There's chatter in the air, someone's listening, and so should you. Gathering intelligence is the best preparation for your next course of action. You will have clever informants, so hear them out before assessing the veracity of the data they have collected and the tales they tell you. Curiosity is the best policy. Listen close. Don't repeat rumors. So, it views itself. I see this as what it offers, what it's going to offer to me. There's going to be a lot for me to hear. It's asking me to listen close and to not just push away the things that I don't agree with. So it views itself as worthy of being listened to and worthy of being considered. How the deck views me, we have the 2 of Wands. So this 2 of Wands here feels very similar to the Prudence card in the in Tarot Volatile, which follows me around. So this is interesting. So let's look at the Two of Wands. A world out of balance spins and wobbles, but from its collapsing trajectory will a new world be spun. The joining of hearts to beat in unison. Opposing forces meet and resolve their differences. That will be really helpful. Success will come from visions and change. Unfurl your banners, proclaiming your very highest ideals. So this deck sees me as disjointed. That could not be more accurate. The deck sees me as needing to bring opposing forces in together. My world spins and wobbles. Success comes from vision and proclaiming my high ideals. So the deck wants to be listened to. It sees me as being out of balance and needing to clear my vision. And then how it views our work together. We have the Queen of Cups. I drew this card today. So it's not the Five of Cups, but this is still a repeat from today, this deck. So we have the Queen of Cups. So our work together. A kind and wise person whose pleasure it is to provide for others proffers you a herbal tea of some sort to calm the nerves. Reveals your fortune in tea leaves. The presence of gentleness and serenity. What is closed, mysteries and visions. With interpretation, dreams do tell the truth. So our work together is to bring comfort, is to look into the tea for answers, and to allow gentleness and serenity to be present in order for my intuition to disclose mysteries. This is beautiful. This is a much different reading than I got from the Drowning World, which I'll take. The deck wants to be listened to. I'm still this little bit of land out here by itself. I'm not sure what to do with that yet. I am divided. I need a plan in line with my vision. And the work that we'll do together will create a sense of warmth and space for my intuition to show up. This is beautiful. I'm so excited for September now. Again, friends, this is the Carnival at the End of the World, the deck that I'm working with in September. So I decided to get crafty the month of September too, which you'll see here in just a second. I am making the equivalent of like a friendship bracelet for our month of practice together. So I've assigned a color for the majors and a color for each suit, and we'll see what my little bracelet tapestry looks like at the end of my month of practice with the Carnival. I am really stretching myself this month, comfort-wise, and I am writing all in the guidebook. So I am making notes on the imagery that I see in the cards, the animal imagery, the elemental energy, and really broadening my understanding of the cards by making notes on the picture in the guidebook. And Herschel, she just wants to help, friends. She just wants to help. So here we have another daily draw. Today is I don't know what today is, the 5th, the 6th. My watch is dead. My phone is recording, so I don't know what day it is. But in tarot school yesterday, we were talking, one of my students reminded me of one of the ways that I was pulling that resembled a practice that Shuffle Tarot did, where she had picked one of the cards from the previous day to be the significator in the current day's drawing, and going through the deck and finding the card before and the card after as like the framework for that card. So that's what I'm going to do today, but drawing my anchor card from my deck from the Narrative Alchemy Tarot, and then getting the support from the 2 cards that are around the same card in the Carnival at the end of the world. So we will start here. I'm fresh out of the shower, so no jewelry. My nails don't like frequent nail polish, so they're getting a break as I shuffle. I think of my body. I pull the energy up from the earth. I pull the energy down from source. And the energy comes out into my hands. Trusting that the energy is in my hands themselves, and that this focus of energy will apply to both decks that I draw from today. I do not need to perform this dedication again with my second deck, because this energy is fully in my hands. And the anchor card for today is Origin. We have the High Priestess. When I did this deck, when I created this deck, the energy of the High Priestess really came through to me as wanting here to represent that energy, that true energy of who we are, our full experience of, this is my drawing, Chrissy, the full experience of my internal mysteries, and to trust the mysteries that are within me, and to get back to who I was before the world told me who to be. So I will shuffle. I've been putting oil on the Carnival at the end of the world, and it smells so good. Lemongrass and rosemary. So as I shuffle this deck, whatever I need to consider, whatever the High Priestess has for me today, those cards will gather directly around the High Priestess in this deck. And I will probably also pull her out because she is beautiful. That one was noisy. All right, so friends, let's go digging for the High Priestess. She is facing the front of the card. She has antlers and a beautiful clear, like a veil of stars. Now I'm singing Sky Full of Stars by Coldplay because I said Veil of Stars. There she is. Okay, so she's in the middle. This is the card before, and then the card after. All right, friends, so we've got 2 Pentacles for me today. I love that the Queen of Pentacles is back. I haven't seen her in a few days, but first we'll talk about the High Priestess in this deck. I've been watching, oh my gosh, I've totally, Prism and Company. Prism and Co. did this brilliant exploration of Carnival at the End of the World as micro narrative, and it is just beautiful. And I've been working with that, with thinking about how that works for me in these cards. So we have the High Priestess here who is skipping along stones in a creek. She is she is looking through her magic, but she hasn't fully absorbed it yet. We see in the Empress that the stars have moved to her dress, but at this point the High Priestess is looking through them. There's still this experience of self through the veil of magic, instead of like the magic being a part of the self that comes through, if that makes any sense. You know, 2 sides of the same coin, to be completely honest, but I think it's an interesting, like, letting my vision go through the filter of my magic. It's very throat chakra energy here. So she's skipping stones, she's not afraid, she's standing on 1 foot, which is very Temperance, not worried about sliding off, bouncing from high point to high point within this creek of emotions, and seeing this veil of her magic being a helper, not a hindrance. That's the energy of the High Priestess, and how this plays in with like who I am at my roots, before who the world told me I needed to be. So looking at the supports here that I have to lean into this energy today, we have the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles was my buddy last month. The Queen of Pentacles has full awareness of her abundance. She's standing on solid green grass. She's got a goat that's like eating at her dress. She doesn't care. She's got plenty she can share with the goat. She's got plenty of material, all that she needs from a material standpoint, to take care of her. And also she has what she needs to take care of in order to support her identity. I love this card, and I love how this plays into balancing my need to caretake others and my need to recognize what I have around me to take care of myself. And then seeing the other energy that supports me here is the 9 of Pentacles. So we have another Pentacle looking deeper into what is going on in the world, in my world. Seeing how this character is also balanced on the tiptoe of 1 foot, shows this sense of assurance, and how it is like, it's okay if I tumble, I'm not going to go very far. I have all I need, in this place of moving through expression, moving through the world, even without having everything, but having enough is enough. This looks very Green Man to me. We have the crab and the ibis. I am going to check the guidebook on this because I feel like the guidebook will tell me something. And I've been working in this guidebook. I don't think I've shown you all this. I have been taking notes on each card as I dig deeper into it, which I will do with these 2 cards today, with imagery in the card, with the symbolic, the symbolic representation of animals. So this also will give me a really nice idea at the end of the month what cards I've drawn over and over and what cards I haven't drawn at all. So looking at here we have the 9 of Pentacles, there's the 4, so I'm in the right suit. Moving to the 9. Prosperity can engender enjoyment of the good things in life. However, the mere stockpiling of material possessions can be poverty for the miser, whereas the farmer's fields prosper when their propagation has been not only fortunate but well tended, and attended by the pollinators who can only be invited and not forced. Where's my pen? Can only be invited and not forced. The enjoyment of pleasure is enriched through discernment and with ample time and space to parse its contours and intersections. Wealth is a confluence of causes and conditions. Its potential satisfactions commiserate with experience. I'm very curious. So things that I will research on my own today. I'm going to make sure this is an ibis first of all. I feel like it is. I'll look at the symbology of the crab. I'm going to dig a little bit into the Green Man. And I'm going to focus here on like the similar to the High Priestess. This, I guess I could show you the card instead of the guidebook, right? Focusing in on this energy. Oh my gosh, wait, the Queen of Pentacles is 2. Can you see this? She's only standing on 1 foot. This toe is touching the ground, but she doesn't really need it. She's only standing on 1 foot. So I have 3 cards here today that are all standing on their right foot only, right? So if this is my left, it's their right. And the way that I understand sides of the body, I know some people will read like masculine and feminine and like energy going out and energy coming in. I tend to read the sides of the body as from like a time perspective, and that the left side of the body is about the past and the right side of the body is about the present, the right now. So all 3 of these characters are standing on their right foot, so only what is going on right now is what matters. So this is I'll move her. I'm just gonna put them right here in the middle because they're both important. So this is my daily pull, playing with the instead of dealing 2 cards at random from the deck, pulling the 2 cards that are closest to, that are framing my anchor card of the day. So yeah, I'll see you soon.